Hello everybody, hi divas. This is Wanda from Wanda's Workbasket for all things creative and crafty and with a little inspiration mixed in. I hope you find some inspiration in this taping. I am taping at night. It's midnight actually. I like taping in the evening. I'm a night person anyway. And there's a lot less traffic out there to contend with, noise, pollution type thing. And you know, I missed some twos in here. Shoot. Yeah, it calms me. There's no motorcycles or trucks or that kind of thing on the road much. So anyway, today we're going to continue with my friend Fear from Mira Patel. And where's my number twos? I have to get a few twos out to do that inner layer here. I am continuing work. I'm on number one now on this diamond painting wreath, and it is a gift. And the reason I'm using extra glue, it's Aleene's tacky glue. I use extra glue on this because, say it with me, well, because of it being maybe put on a door and exposed to the elements, and anything that's going to be moved around and either stored or used heavily, excuse me, or bump up against other things frequently. I want to make sure it's doubly secure, triple secure. The sticky on the actual wreath is really good. The one I got here is really good. And I'll link where I got it down below. So that's not a problem. But I use the tacky glue as a second line of defense against things coming off. And third, after I'm all finished on these things, I'm going to polyurethane them so that they continue to stick for a long time and not come off. The last thing I want is to have to give it to somebody or to sell it to somebody and it be a faulty product. I do not want that, obviously. So, I am down to number one for this kit. I put the end, here it goes. What I do is I cut the piece off of the little baggie that identifies what number it is in case I need to go back and find some. Just until I'm done the project. When I finish the project, I sort them out. And I will show you how I sort my gems. In another video. So right now, down to number one, it's mostly outlines. And again, this should be my last, the last video of me putting diamonds on here. I might be able to show you the polyurethaning of it later. I have to give it as a gift, and because I know she's going to actually see it when I polyurethane it, because I can't really hide things where I am doing it. I'm sure she'll see it, so I wanted her to see it before and then polyurethane it after it's dry. I wait until the glue on these things are dry for at least a day before I polyurethane. Not even 2 days or longer. Because, well, polyurethane is my third defense, and it's a polyurethane that won't yellow in the sun, it won't change shade. It's a Minwax. I think I forget, it's a poly something. It's polyurethane, but I don't remember Minwax's name for it. When I get to that part in the next video, I'll show you what I use for that and how I do it. Okay? So, there we go. That should be good to start. And we will start on Mira again very shortly. So how is your day? How are you doing? Have you encouraged anyone lately? Have you done a thankful list? Like maybe one, two, or three things that you're thankful for every day? At least one. Whether you think about it or write it down is one thing. That's at least the least you can do. I have a journal, so I journal a lot in it. Not every day, but most days. And I put what I'm thankful for in there. It's, it sounds like me rambling on like I am when I'm talking here. So I have to sort through all that stuff when I reread them. And I do reread them. I have journals that go all the way back to 2nd grade. Every one of them I've ever written in. And I love it. I love going back over. I mean, in 2nd grade, the things I'd write sporadically in my journal was, I hate my brother today, that kind of thing. That's what you do when you're 2nd grade. So, yeah, there's that. And I've learned so many neat ways to journal, different ideas to journal, different prompts and things, and I'd love to share them with you too at some point. But that's for another day, and maybe even another channel. I have another channel called drawingnearer.com, Drawing Nearer at YouTube. Not .com, not yet. I'm working on that though. Let me see. I love red. It really pops this out, really. Really makes it pop. And yellow, orange, red always go together. It's like fire to me. As a, I don't believe in the zodiac or anything, but my my sign is Sagittarius, and it's supposed to be a fire sign. I don't really know what that means, but I've always loved fire. Campfires, smell of wood burning. Love that. Or camping, it always had the best memories for me. Or singing around a campfire, or... Alright, now that fell out somewhere. I'll have to find it. I always had the best memories, singing with friends and Girl Scouts and... singing with family. Talking around the campfire, heart to hearts with my parents and friends, and also just having, like, making banana boats or s'mores. It's pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun. So now I'm going to continue the bow, but as I do, we're going to go back to our friend, My Friend Fear, by Mira Lee Patel. I believe we are on pages 58 and 59. And it says, listen to Fear's story. And she has a watercolor of the earth here. And the one here says, small life. This one says, incredible world waiting for you. Okay, so that's her premise for right now. Mira writes, identify the purpose behind your fear. What will you accomplish if you quiet this irrational fear? Irrational fears paralyze us. They prevent us from being present in our daily lives, from honestly connecting with one another, and from being who we really are. We often sensationalize how unfortunate the endings to our stories are. We believe our potential pain is boundless and will ultimately ruin us. Change the story that your fear tells you. Instead of focusing on the fantastic but ultimately imaginary pain your fear is saving you from, look at what your irrational fears do to you. They force you to live a small life instead of discovering the incredible world waiting for you. That is awesome. That's a capital awe. Wow. Change the tapes that run in your head is what I always called it. The tapes that run in your head saying, who are you to do that? What gives you, what makes you think that you're good enough to do that? That you're skilled enough to do that? You're going to be laughed at. You're going to write this book and people are going to laugh at you. People are going to know your secrets, and there it is. Your colleagues are going to know your secrets then. And honestly, as I'm going to be telling it, I don't think that most of my family know me in that way. My journal does. So, I would be living a very small life if I didn't push the envelope. I know I have told about my dad's agoraphobia before, and watching him struggle, not being able to get out of the driveway to go to work for a number of years. It killed me. And knowing that his fears were imaginary, but they paralyzed him. So I was determined not to let fear run my life. I wasn't going to, be so afraid of something, anything, that it would prevent me from doing the things I want to do in my life. And believe me, after I had prayed that, I was sent many opportunities. Many opportunities to say, hey, I was afraid of that at one time. And you can feel the fear welling up within you when you're doing some of those things. And it's rough. In one of the recent videos, I talked about the fear of driving through tunnels. In another one, way back when, doing a different project, I talked about my fear of elevators. And I talked about my panic attacks in one of my recent videos with the Wreath here. I don't take any of those things lightly. And I'm not saying there's any magical formula or magical exercise that you can do that will ultimately get you over these things and get you out to the other side where you can always be happy. And I don't pretend to know that at all. I don't pretend to be giving you advice like a therapist would, because I'm not a licensed therapist. I enjoy reading books, and especially self-help books, and applying them to my life and seeing if they are worth the read. I have some from Brené Brown I'd love to get into, and I'd love to discuss them, because so many people have different experiences and different understandings of what they picked up. And if you'd be interested, if anybody would be interested in a online book club where, like, once a week or every 2 weeks we would do an online meeting a live meeting or something like a private Zoom room where we can talk about what we read and talk about our experiences concerning what we read. I would love to do that with the Brené Brown book. So if you're interested in something like that, if that would be interesting to you, put a note in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And while you're down there, please like and subscribe. I can't wait to get to 100 members so that I can start giving some stuff away. And that will probably end up being a monthly thing. Alright, back to the fear and the anxiety. Right, so she says, what does she say here? She says, look at what your irrational fears do to you. They force you to live a small life instead of discovering the incredible world waiting for you. If I was afraid of going on a plane, I would never get to see my in-laws. I would never have gotten to Mexico and Ghana and Italy, Spain. I would never have gone anywhere. Now, I don't love spending all that time in a tin can flying in the sky. But I'm not going to let it stop me from living my best life. If you have anything that, whatever you want to share with me, feel free to share it on my personal email, which is pastorwandas@gmail.com. Pastor is Pastor, Wanda, Wanda, and the letter S for my last name, @gmail.com. I'd love to continue the conversation with you. Okay, so should I read some more of Mira? I think I should. Oh, man. Yeah, I saw that. I'm going to outline it anyway. Meaning I saw some 2s here. I should have filled in with 2 rather than the 1. But I have the 1 with me right now, and it's going to look just as good. So let me plunk these on there, and I'll read another page of Mira, and we can talk about that. What things have held you back from having a big life? Another thing I'll share about that is that when I first decided or was called to go to seminary, I prayed and I said, God, I'm not, going to be a pastor. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go all the way through with it because I'm afraid to speak in public. I was deathly afraid of getting up in front of a crowd and bearing my heart and soul with something I've written and my innermost thoughts that way, or praying in front of somebody. I was teased in school and in high school too. I used to bring a Bible with me and read it in between classes and stuff. I hate to be bored, so I always had something to read with me. And at that time, my mom had given us, my brother and I, a contest about who could read through the Bible first, and we'd win a prize. And it took, a year or so. But I did it. And I did read everything. took me about a year. So anyway, I was teased about that. You know, why are you bringing your Bible to school? This was in the 70s, remember? I could still do that without being harassed by someone who didn't think that that was politically correct to do. Anyway, so it made me it added to my fear of being ridiculed. Even in community college, I had a couple years of community college to get my associates before I went on to get my bachelor's. And more glue. I swear it's eating right through the little plastic bag. Anyway. Okay, so in community college, I'm going to use the napkin here. I'm not good at math, okay? And I had to take, it was like the final for math in the college class. You had to take basic fundamentals of math and that kind of thing. And so that's what I took. And I was so afraid of coming out looking dumb on some simple math projects. So right as he was handing out the tests, I just folded my hands in front of me and closed my eyes and lifted up a prayer or two silently. I didn't interrupt anybody else's thought process or anything. And when the teacher came around to hand me my paper, he goes, "Oh, you're praying." And I said, no, just closing my eyes. I don't know why I didn't just say yes, I was. Because that's silly. I guess I was afraid of being ridiculed for that too. So, when I went to seminary, I made what I thought was a deal with God, saying, all right, I'll go for youth ministry or something else, but I'm not going to preach in public and I'm not going to pray in public. It just is too afraid. I'm too afraid to do that. Well, digging down into that fear, with the help of a counselor and a spiritual director, and much prayer and journaling, what I really remembered feeling was I didn't want to feel ridiculed again and teased and bullied about my faith. And I mean, here you are. Your intimate thoughts are written on the page and spoken through your words, and especially the relationship with God. You know, at that point I thought it was so personal, and it is personal, but it's also, you know, you're in a group, you're never alone. And that's one of the best things about having a church family, is they're family. They become family. But anyway, I digress. I tangent. So, when I did the first year, and let's see, here we go. And I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do. So when the registrar or whomever said, I see you have gifts for ministry, and we would love it. We think you should go for a full pastor, a full master of divinity. I'm like, whoa. So in that, you have to go through an entire process to do that. You have to go through, if you're in a denomination, each denomination has hoops you have to jump through in order to be a pastor. Well, most do. Independent churches, somebody one day can just decide that they're a pastor and you know, speak from a pulpit and, oops, and pull other people away from their home churches. Sorry, I got a little hung up on that. But, so anyway, that's not where I'm going. I had the fear. And I'm like, for like a year and a half, I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to be a pastor if I can't speak in public? I don't want this fear every time I walk in to lead worship. Now, leading worship was not a bad deal at all. I could do that with my eyes closed. It was just the speaking part. And yes, I like dialogue and skit sermons and all kinds of things that are not just standing up there and reading off a paper what you wrote. That I don't prefer that style of preaching. But so one semester we had to do one semester in a non-church placement, like where chaplains might be. You can be you can work in a non-church field. And to get a taste of that, you were to find the unpaid position somewhere for the semester. And they brought in a lot of people, community leaders, volunteer centers, and things like that, to explain what they do and to kind of like meet you and give you applications to fill out for the internship. So I did that, and I wound up at the YWCA, and in that town where I graduated seminary. And I loved it. I went with one of the gals to a junior high to show a film on harassment, sexual harassment, and take questions. I called on the phone to local drug testing companies to see what drugs are tested for, what are the date rape drugs that are to be avoided, and all that kind of stuff from the drug. How do they test for the drugs in your system, and how long they last in your system, and that kind of thing. So I did that. I helped them with other things, a girl power type after school program. I helped with that a time or two. The main thing I did was I helped on a committee to decide our programming and stuff for Take Back the Night, which is, I believe, in April or May, probably April. Domestic Violence Awareness Month, that kind of thing. And we had a guest speaker. The evening was going really well. We never did get outside to light our candles because this guest speaker was so intriguing that we were just enthralled with listening to her and just feeling I felt myself being free inside as she was talking, like, yeah, she really knows what I experienced. But her story was heart-wrenching. She wrote a book about her experiences, and I bought it and read it. And it was heart-wrenching, her story. Mine is nothing like that. But still, I learned there that the emotions you feel from one incident, no matter how long ago, carries over. And it could be a little incident, it could be a big incident. They still have the same, your body still reacts the same way, and you can get PTSD from anything like that. So after the guest speaker was done speaking, they opened it up for people from that were there in the audience, so to speak, listening to her, if we want to share anything from our stories. And I was sitting on my hands. I gotta tell you, I was sitting on my hands. I did not want to. I said, nope, that's not going to be me. It's not going to be me. And all of a sudden, after a few people went, I saw that I was standing up there at the podium. I'm thinking, what the heck am I doing here? What am I saying? It was like an out-of-body experience. I was talking about what had happened to me when I was a little girl. And it felt like, you know how we talked in another video about walls? How we put up walls of protection around us so that we won't feel the pain of something happening to us. We've distanced ourselves from it. We've learned to do that to avoid pain. And for me, it was very painful for that wall to be up, because it did not allow me to fully seek my call and to fully live out my life. So, as I was up there at the podium speaking, I talked a little bit about the incident, which will be outlined in my book. And you know, and how the speaker had encouraged me, and along with many others there, I'm sure. To speak out. And I know I'm thinking slowly here because I don't want to give away too much. I want to remind myself to put up the mature content in front. So I found myself up there, and I was like out of body type of thing, speaking about what had happened to me and how it felt emotionally after that. And all of a sudden, it was like somebody punched right through that wall, and it broke and it crumbled right in front of me. And that was freedom. That was fresh air. That's what Mira was talking about with being free. Free from the fear, free from its hold over you, free from the fear taking control of you, and you missing out on your life, your best life, because of the fears that hold you back. And here that wall had been broken, and I'd been holding that wall up for so long that I forgot what it was like to be free of that wall. I forgot how easy and carefree and wonderful it felt to be rid of that wall. Now, I'm not saying it all went down all at once and never came back, but right now it's physically painful to hold that wall back any longer. And that's why I'm writing the book, to encourage others who might be going through this pain, that there is something wonderful if you're able to talk about it with someone and get counseling for it. you can break through the painful wall that surrounds you. It was there for your protection so that you wouldn't be, it would keep you out of a position that would cause you to be vulnerable. But it's also there when you do things that you want to do, when you just have a little anxiety about it. The wall goes up, and then you're not able to do it. I mean, I physically could not speak in public. My chest would get red. My throat would tighten and close, pretty much. My sinuses would get cloggy, and I'd feel like I was all congested. My body fought me not to say anything. It fought me to keep my mouth shut. My body literally tightened its grip on me. So, but that night, Spirit punched through the wall and gave me a glimpse of what it felt like to be free of that psychological pain. And I can say the miracle is, from that day on, I was not afraid to speak in public. I preached, and I always loved to teach and loved to be in front of youth and do youth groups and lead like that, but I didn't want to preach or pray, and after that I could do that easily. No problem. I had the nervous jitters a little bit, but that's because you want to do a good job, not the paralyzing anxiety and panic attacks that I would get beforehand. So that's that. And let's bring that back around to what Mira said, which was, you want to help me out here, what was it? I was thinking of another thing we did that night, a Take Back the Night. We had a contest for kids in school, older kids in school, to write a t-shirt saying or draw on it or something like that to explain something that they learned about, being safe, or something having to do with the Take Back the Night theme. And then we put them on a fake clothesline inside. We created strung up some string in the room, and we hung them all clothespined onto this clothesline. And that was so cool. For me, I think that's kind of what my book is doing. It's airing my dirty laundry, or what I thought was dirty laundry, and feeling clean and free of it. In fact, that's an exercise that you can do. Draw or go on images and just Google a t-shirt clip art, and then blow it up, make it a big piece of paper, and write down on it how you want to feel. It could be a mantra you've heard, it could be a poem you've heard or written, it could be song lyrics that speak to you in your situation. It could be anything, something that you've written, something that would encourage another person going through healing from assault. And hang them up on that clothesline. Make several copies and hang them up on that clothesline, and realize that even though when you're in counseling and spiritual direction or whatever, your dirty laundry is aired out for everybody to see, but it becomes an encouragement. It becomes an encouragement to others. And that's what I like to do with this channel. That's what I want to do with my book. I get personal and open because I love that feeling of freedom that comes, freedom and joy that comes when I can write something that is meaningful to someone else, that encourages someone out there, and helps you get through the day. That's the feeling I want to carry around with me all the time. A feeling of gratefulness, a feeling of usefulness, a feeling of, the euphoria that comes from helping someone. That was the fun thing. The exercise that goes along with today would be that. Would be, be honest, in counseling. If you don't have a counselor, please get one. If you want to, some spiritual direction and don't know what that is, I'll do a different thing on that on my other YouTube channel called Drawing Nearer. Well, it's not dot anything yet, but it's on YouTube. And if you want, you can email me privately. Just put in the comments if any of this has encouraged you. If any of the little exercises and things that I put in the video to try to physically represent what you're going through emotionally, and how to get rid of it, how to make it not feel so welcome. These are some of the things that have helped me along the way in my healing over the past 20 years. And yeah. And in writing all that, I know that I'll be airing my dirty laundry. The skeletons in my closet will be out and dancing for all to see. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it for you. I'm going to risk it for other assault victims. I'm going to explain how creativity and art and crafts, things like that, have helped me heal. It can help you heal too. So I'm not going to describe the incident on YouTube. If you want to hear more about that, you'll have to wait till the book comes out. And I don't know how that's going to go, if it's even going to be picked up yet by someone. But we shall see, hopefully soon, how that goes. I'm putting together my book proposal now. I can send out to a few different things. A few different publishing houses. And yes, that is just... my dream is to help others cope emotionally with what has been happening to them. And sharing how Spirit has led me into healing. not forcing the idea of spirit on anyone else, but just describing how I have interpreted spirit helping me into healing. And that's important to me. That's where my Christian faith comes in. That's where ministry lies for me. In helping and encouraging you. Alright, enough about that. I'm getting there. I'm more than halfway through. I'm in the fall section now in here. Instead of hearing me chatting all the time, let's chat on email. I will continue with my friend Fear, Mirali Patel. In more Tea and Talk Tuesdays or Fearless Fridays. I just like that name, Fearless Fridays. I'd like to be fearless one of these days. What do you think? I'm not wired that way, though. I guess if we had to be honest, none of us are, right? You know, I am personally going to leave some bits of silence in my videos. I think it's important to recognize there's a place for silence in our lives. We had people talking at us all day long, from everywhere, all the time. And we just need some silence to listen. To listen to spirit. To listen to our heart. To listen to the thoughts in our head. To decide, to make decisions. This is a big flower. It takes a lot of red here. At least with tacky glue here, you have, number one, it dries clear should you make a mistake. And you have some time that if you misplace one, even if when the glue goes clear, if you have misplaced one, you can, before it's totally solid, you can move them around slightly, straighten them out, add one in if you missed one, that kind of thing. Okay. This almost looks like a sunburst. I guess it's a chrysanthemum because it's toward the fall. What do you think? It's not a poinsettia. Poinsettia, I know. Pronounced it wrong. Let me see. I should read another page or two of Mira. Did I promise that to you earlier? Might have. Sorry. Forgot. I'm human too. Okay. I'll read another page of Mira while we're sitting here. Finishing up threads. Oh, I'm almost done. Oh, this is it. No, there's one up here. All right. And this time she has aqua color pages. And they are page 60 and 61. And this is what this reads. In moments of fear, I always come to a familiar crossroad. I can fold and live a little more safely with quietness instead of conflict, or I can go on and try, knowing there is no promise of safety or triumph waiting for me. These two choices stare at me knowingly, because no matter how many times I've come face to face with them, I've always chosen the same one. I choose to keep trying. I choose to keep trying even when I don't want to. I fan the little flame inside me and keep it from going out once more. Ooh. Ooh, I love that image. I fan the little flame inside me and keep it from going out once more. Yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice to retrain your brain, so to speak. I like how she writes. She's very encouraging. She's taken a topic that a lot of us like to avoid. People in my ethnic persuasion don't like to cause a fuss, don't like to draw attention to themselves. So they don't want to admit that they're weak or that they need something. They want to be self-sufficient. And I've learned that that's not healthy. To a certain extent it is, but you can take something, you can take anything and string it out to the end of the pendulum swing, and it can be a big deal. Or you can let it come back down to the middle. And it may still be swinging, but instead of swinging so far from one edge to the other, it'll be swinging slowly and kind of like wrapping right around the middle. That's what we want to happen. Oh, my train of thought derailed again. These heavy light glasses are heavy on my nose. I need more tea. Yes, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And I should have no more caffeine tonight, or I will never sleep. Oh, Poinsettia, here you are. I could drink something ice cold too. And I'm hungry, so I'm going to have some purple cabbage and blue cheese dressing. And I'm done with here. I have to eat it all before we go out west anyway. I'm leaving on Saturday. Yay! I'm probably there already while you're watching this, because I like to tape a few and then spread them out a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Not bad, not bad. I'm going to have to put something over it, because Mom likes to knock a little bit, then come right in. She won't at midnight, but she sometimes is up as late as I am, but we don't like communicate at that time of night just in case the other one is sleeping. If I was having a panic attack or something, I would go over and just sort of sit in the same room with her. And if she noticed me there, then I would, we would talk, but I wouldn't want to wake her up. See, my mom has very bad scoliosis in her back, and she's got to sit up to sleep, so she has an armchair in the living room that she likes to kick the stool out and relax back on. She's been extremely busy all her life and blessing others with who she is. Her name is Grace, and I gotta tell you, she exemplifies that. She really does. And anybody who knows her can tell you the same thing. I don't know what I'm gonna do if she goes. She's had heart problems over the years due to a heart virus when I was really small. But that's a story for another day. I'm gonna, in the next WIP and Chat, type like a Thursday or Tuesday or Friday. I'm going to first show you how I polyurethane a completed diamond painting. I do not do that to all of them. The sticky on most of the ones you get from a reputable company are sticky enough. If they're not going to take hard banging around, moving around, bumping up against other things, if they're not going to take that kind of use or abuse, whatever you want to call it, then I don't polyurethane it. If it is going to be in a high traffic area or being used as a tote bag or journal cover or keychain or that kind of thing, if it's going to be used in any of those things, I use the extra glue. But if you've heard the other videos around this wreath, you probably already know that. Please like and subscribe. It really does help me to know that I'm on the right track. Or give me a thumbs down if you think it's not your cup of tea. That's alright too. I get it. Haha, does that mean I'm done? Ooh, what does that mean I'm done? Look at this, look at this. Anywhere that I need to, what did I feel? Ha, you falling between the cracks, are you? Yeah, a bunch of them in the middle. How I like to do it is I like to feel for anything that's popping up, for anything that didn't get glued down, anything that isn't even. Oh yeah. For some reason, the back of this had plastic on it too. I guess so that it would be scratch resistant until used. Look at that. I didn't. Oh, there's another one. Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. There it was. Yeah, see, that's why I like to rub my hand over it, because if it's not as smooth as expected, then there are little drills that decided to drop off or escape. Now here's one. One of the last ones I put on decided to jump off. Two of them did, huh? Oh. I wasn't paying attention. One, oops, where did it go? Come on. One there. And one there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll keep this under wraps so I could show Mom. I'm definitely getting another one of these. Even though I had problems in the beginning with the drills not coming in right, you know, giving me blue for the yellow sunflower, that just wasn't cool. Oh, I forgot a few on the butterfly, in the middle of the butterfly. That's why I look. That's why I look. Diddy dum, diddy dum, diddy dum, diddy dum, dum dum. Diddy 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 diddy. There we go. And to make it even, suppose I can take one of these out. And what I mean by making it even is that this butterfly had a red dot on one wing, but not on the other one. I like to make it even, so. My goodness, my table squeaks so much. Here we go. And here's a red right here on the mat. Ta-da! That's nice. Alright, I think it's ready. It's ready to be put to bed for the night, and so am I. So, I thank you for sticking around here with me. I thank you for encouraging me just by your presence here today. So, I hope you come back for more bling, things. And my post review of this one is excellent. A couple problems with the drills, but otherwise it's excellent. I love it. It's so pretty. Aren't they beautiful? Shiny, man, they're shiny. When the sun hits that, it's going to be beautiful. Alright. Have a wonderful sleep, and I will see you again soon. I'll see you in the next video.